All right, well, welcome. It is Wednesday, and we are going to do um, yoga for stress and anxiety. And this is our last week. This is the last week of yoga for stress and anxiety. So we're going to talk about the bliss body, and it's our final Koshas, our bliss body. And so for the bliss body, I thought that we would do some yin tonight. So it's going to be a pretty mellow practice and a nice long shavasana, final relaxation at the end, just to absorb everything. So it's going to be very mellow, and the goal for tonight is to feel good. So that's where I'm headed tonight. Thank you all so much for joining me, and thank you to Willard Library for putting on these yoga classes. They've been just amazing with their programming. So let's get started. And we're going to start lying down today. And again, it's going to be super mellow today. We're not going to flow. We're going to do more of a yin style practice. So the goal is to get comfortable. If you have props you like to use, we're not going to need anything specifically, but if you want like a blanket or something else, go for it. All right, and we're just going to start with your knees bent, feet on the floor, arms can fall out. Just get really comfortable. And give yourself a few moments here to notice your breath. Notice how you're feeling. Notice your body. How does your body feel? Notice your mind. How does your mind feel? And notice the flow of your breath. Try not to change anything. I know that's hard to do, but try not to change anything and just notice. Notice how it feels to breathe. Does it feel open? Does it feel stuck? Does it feel like you're breathing at all? Just notice. And then from here, you're going to take your feet a little bit wider than your hips. So just about mat width apart if you've got a mat. Just wider than your hips. And then keeping your arms out wide, drop your knees from side to side. So they're going to go to the left and then to the right. You can move with your breath. You can pause. This doesn't have to be anything overly structured. Just unwinding the low back a little bit. And your legs are moving kind of like windshield wipers. Windshield wiper type legs. What we're going for. And a slower practice, we're going to have a much slower practice tonight. It can be challenging in its own ways because we physically slow down. We have to train the mind to stay. But it also can feel really, really good to stop. So just notice where you're at today. And again, there's no judgment, no right, no wrong, no better, no best. Just notice. Notice how it feels for you. And then the next time your knees come to center, we're going to pause and then bring your right knee in toward your chest. You can hug your knee in if you want to. Left knee can stay bent with your foot on the floor, or you can extend your left leg flat out on the floor. So either one. And then give yourself a couple breaths here, just acclimating to the shape. If you want to roll your ankle a couple times or point and flex through your toes, you can do that. See if you can relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. And in a yin style practice, we're not trying to get anywhere. The shoe-just pose you can do isn't the goal. The goal, if we can say it's that, I don't know if goal is the right word, but the point of the practice is just to move into the shape and notice, as always. Okay, and then when you're ready, from here, you're going to take your right knee over to the left. Right arm opens out to the right. And then if it feels okay, keep your gaze this time the same way as your bent knee. So your gaze is going to be to the left here. And again, you're not cranking your leg down as far as it'll go because we're going to be here for a little bit. Just let it pop up if it needs to. Let that right shoulder soften down. And if you want to, with that right arm, your outstretched arm, you can do big circles across your body. So up, over, and around. And then switching go the other way. Feel the flow of your breath here. And then the next time your right arm is outstretched, you can leave it outstretched if that feels good. And breathe, long deep breaths. Remember that our bliss body sounds awesome, right? It's because it is. But our bliss body is something that resides in us all the time. And it's our true state. It's our pure state. It's pure love, pure joy, pure everything. And it's something that I think sometimes can get lost between all the other layers of ourselves. But it's something that's always there. It's always there. On your next inhale, slowly bring your right knee back to center. And then from here, we're going to take the right leg up towards the sky, or the ceiling, and the sky. If you want to, again, you can bend your left knee and bring your foot to the floor, or you can just keep it extended. Again, it's what feels best for you. And give yourself just a few breaths here. We're not going to hold this one quite as long. But instead of cranking your leg as far as it will go, I want you to back off a little bit and see if you can allow your thigh bone to settle down into the hip socket. So if you need something physical to think about your thigh bone settling down into your hip socket. And remember, your leg doesn't have to be totally straight. A little bend, a big bend may feel better here. Anywhere you want to be. Doesn't have to look just like mine, because every body is different. And so adjust for your body and breathe here. And then when you're ready, take one more long deep breath. And then from here, if your left leg is straight on the mat, your bottom leg is straight on the mat, you're going to slowly bend your knee, bring your foot back to the floor. And then from here, you're going to cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Square up your hips, do whatever you need to do so you feel comfortable here. Flexing your right foot so that way your right knee stays nice and safe. And then bring your hands to your low rib cage. So you're not moving that left leg just yet. Bring your hands to your low rib cage and feel the flow of your breath in this shape. Feel the expansion of your inhale and the release of your exhale. And then you can stay here. This might feel good. This might be plenty. Or if you want to, if it feels good on your hip, you can bring your left knee in toward your chest and then hug that knee and threading your right arm through that hole between your legs. You can hug behind the thigh. You can hug over the shin. And again, there's no better version here. It's just what feels best and what feels natural to your body. Do that. And breathe. Long deep breath. And as you breathe here, notice where you feel sensation. Notice if it's easy to sink right in and enjoy the shape, or if you feel something else. Allowing yourself to breathe into whatever comes up. And if you feel judgment coming up or anything similar to judgment, allow yourself just to let that go. Even if it just happens, in your mind for a second. See if you can let it go, even just a little bit. Take one or two long deep breaths here. One or two more long deep breaths here. And then slowly keep this, if your left foot is up, keep this shape in your legs, just slowly bring your left foot to the floor. So you still have that figure four shape in your legs. The right ankle's over your left thigh. And then from here, we're gonna twist. So you're gonna, you can bring your arms out into a T if you want to, but you're gonna let this figure four shape, you're gonna let your left knee fall to the left and your right foot come to or towards the floor. So you're twisting your lower body to the left. Left knee comes towards the floor, right foot comes towards the floor. Now when you get here, your right knee may fall in a little bit, and that might feel more natural for your body. And if it feels okay, if you don't feel any pulling on your knee, if it doesn't feel bad on your knee, you can start to allow your knee to move away from you and up towards the ceiling, and let your right hip get really heavy. Now again, you don't want to cause any knee pain, you don't want this to feel bad, and if at any time this doesn't feel good in your leg, you can always unwind and just come into a regular twist, stacking your knees. Okay, so just do what feels good here to you. Long deep breaths here. Let that right hip get really heavy. And breathe. Notice where you feel this one. I feel it a lot in my right outer hip. But just notice for you. Again, as you breathe here, see if you can relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. And remembering that as we move through our poses tonight, we're not trying to push ourselves in any physical way. We're trying to essentially get out of the way and let gravity do the work. One more long deep breath here. And then on your inhale, slowly bring your figure four shape back to center. Release your legs. So unwind your legs. And bring your knees up into your chest. From here, if you want to like beater your knee, you're going to take your knees apart, push them away from you, bring them together, pull them back in. So apart, push them away, together, back in. Apart, away, together, back in. And then switch and go the other way. So you're going to bring them together, push them away, apart, come back in, together, push them away, apart, come back in. Maybe one more. That feels good. And then bring your feet back to the floor. Knees bent, feet on the floor. Feet are going to be about hip width apart, and we're going to roll through three bridges. So we're just going to roll with our breath. So on your inhale, you're going to press into your feet, lift your hips, come up in your bridge. If you want to bring your arms up and over your head as you do that, you can, but only if it feels good. And exhale, lower down. So two more, just like that. Inhaling, rolling up into your bridge, lengthening out the upper body. Exhale, lowering down. And one more, inhaling, rolling up into your bridge, lengthening out. And exhale, bringing it all the way back down. All right, so we're going to move into side two, same thing. So again, adjusting yourself so you feel nice and stable and centered. And when you feel ready, inhaling, bring your left knee in towards your chest. Again, you can hug your knee in if that feels good, over the shin, behind the thigh, wherever feels good. And then right leg can stay bent. You can keep it here, or you can extend it out on the floor. Couple of breaths here. And as you breathe, again, if you want to do ankle circles or point and flex through your foot, go for it. It's getting some movement. Yeah. Ankle joint feels nice. Breathe. See if you can relax your shoulders, relax your face. And then from here, we're going to slowly move into the twist. So you're going to take your left knee over to the right. Left arm opens out to the left. And again, if it feels okay, gaze towards your bent knee. I'm going to gaze towards you because it's probably easier to hear me than if I look away. But if it feels okay, gaze to the right, gaze over your bent knee. Couple of breaths. And again, you're not pushing yourself as far as you can possibly go. You're just going so far that you feel the space in your side body, you feel the twist, and then we're breathing there. And when you feel ready, if it feels good for you, want big circles over your body with your left arm. So your outstretched arm is going to go up and around. Breathing here as you move. Opening up to the upper body and the shoulder. And then switching, go the other way. Same, other way. Enjoying the space that you're creating. Enjoying the shape. And again, when your left arm is outstretched again, pause. A few breaths here. And we're not going for pain. We don't want any sort of pain, any sort of discomfort, just going for sensation. So if you feel the stretch, feel the twist, feel the opening maybe in your upper chest and shoulder, just pause and breathe into it. And then on your next inhale, take your time. You're going to slowly bring your left knee back to center. Again, square off so you feel nice and even. Right leg can stay extended, or you can bend your knee and bring your foot to the floor, either or. And then from here, you're going to take your left leg up towards the sky. Again, we're just going for the stretch in the back of the leg, feeling that thigh bone descending down into your hip socket. If you like visualizations, visualize your thigh bone descending into your hip socket. And feel yourself stable here. Can you feel stable here? Can you feel your breath here? Can you allow yourself just to pause here and be in this shape without any agenda, without anything to do? Just breathe. And remember, you're not cranking yourself into the biggest stretch of your life. You're just going so far that you feel sensation in the back of the leg. And then maybe backing off just a little bit. So we're not going to like 100%. We're thinking maybe 75 or 80% of your stretch. So you can breathe here and really feel the effects of being in. And then from here, if your right leg is extended, bend your right knee, bring your foot to the floor. And from here, you're going to take your left ankle and cross it over your right thigh. Flex your left foot. You're going to pause here just for a few breaths. And again, if it feels okay, bring your hands to your low rib cage and feel the flow of your breath here. As you breathe, imagine what it would be like to live in your bliss body all the time. What does living in joy, living in love mean to you? What would that look like? What would that feel like? When you're ready, you can stay. This might be plenty. Again, adjust for your hips. So you can stay here, or if you want to, you can bring your right knee in toward your chest. Left arm threads through that hole in your leg. And then you can hug your right knee in, behind your thigh, over your shin, whatever feels best to you. And a few breaths here. Remember to keep your left foot flexed. That protects your knee wherever you're at here. And breathe. Long, deep breaths. Noticing the sensations in this shape. See if you're going to relax your shoulders, relax your jaw, and feel the flow of your breath. If your mind starts to wander, bring it back to the sensation, or bring it back to your breath. And then when you're ready, slowly bring your right foot back to the floor. Keeping your left ankle crossed over your right thigh, you're going to slowly allow your right knee to drop over to the right. Left foot's going to come to or towards the floor. So we're back in that twist. And again, anything going on with that knee, you can always uncross and stack the knees. Okay, be nice to yourself here. Just modify as you need to. And again, that left knee may fall in toward you a little bit. That's okay. But if it feels okay to you, you can start to allow your left knee to move away and let that left hip get really heavy. And take a few breaths here. Letting your shoulders relax, letting your jaw relax. Breathing into whatever comes up for you. And then on your neck, taking off every time you're slowly going to bring your left or your figure four back to center and unwind your legs. Again, from here, let's bring your knees up into your chest. Rock and roll around this time, anything that feels good. Massaging up your lower back. And then one more time, bringing your feet to the floor. Press your feet into the floor. Feet are going to be hip width apart. Lift your hips. This time we're going to come up and stay in a bridge. So if you like to interlace your fingers behind your back or grab the edges of your sticky mat or anything, or you can let your hands just hang where they are, you can do that. Do whatever feels good here. Opening up through the chest, opening up through the front of the body. Feeling yourself open, receiving. And then when you're ready, release and slowly lower all the way down. Get really long in your legs. Lengthen your legs out on the mat. Reach your arms up overhead. Lengthen out through your arms. Lengthen down through your legs. Any little wiggles that you need. And then last thing we're going to do, happy baby. So bend your knees. You're going to catch either your shins, your ankles, your feet. Let your tailbone drop down. If you like to roll around a little bit in your happy baby, you can. If you like to extend your legs out wide or up and overhead, you can do that too. Anything that feels good in your happy baby today, do that. And then when you're ready, take your time. You're slowly going to release whatever you've got going on. Let your legs fall all the way down to the mat. And we're going to move into our final relaxation. So again, should be nice and set up for it, nice and relaxed. So just get comfortable. If you got a blanket, you might want a blanket. Get really comfortable. Allow yourself to let go of the physical practice. And notice for a moment, notice how you're feeling. Yin practice can be magical because we don't do a whole lot of movement, but it's very transformational. And it allows us those longer holds, those deep stretches, allows us to dig through the layers of what we have, even not just in our muscles and our hips and in our hamstrings, but layers of things that we're holding on to, and it gives us time to release whatever we don't no longer need, whatever is no longer serving us. And that helps us to open up to our high potential, open up to our true selves, open up to our bliss body. So giving yourself a few moments here just to release, to relax, to let go, and to absorb your bliss. And staying here for as long as you have, as long as you can. Tonight might be a good night for a nice 10-minute shavasana. If you are ready, only if you are ready, start by wiggling your fingers and your toes. Maybe one more time, take a big stretch, reaching your arms up over your head, reaching down through your feet. And then take your time, slowly go all the way over onto your right or left side. And like you're re-emerging into the world, use your hands, press yourself all the way up to seated. Finding your comfortable seat, bringing your hands to your heart, taking a moment to seal in your practice. Remembering our yoga practice isn't about conquering poses. It isn't really about anything on the outside. What happens on the outside isn't really the goal. The goal is to notice what happens on the inside. The goal is to shed away the layers that we build up to protect ourselves, which are useful. We slowly peel them away to find our true selves, find our pure love, to find our joy. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste. Thank you so much again for joining me these last few weeks. Again, this is our last week for Yoga for Stress and Anxiety. Thank you so much to Willard Library and to Chelsea for helping me navigate all of this. It's been amazing. Namaste.